Hello, this is Julie Yasar, Realtor working with Realtor One Group Iconic at the Spring, Texas area. Today I want to talk about buying a home in Texas area. Please make a comment, ask a question or subscribe my channel if you like my videos. Okay, the most important step is buying a home process, of course, financing. You need to first consider your financing, but if you are buying cash, you can just go to next step. That's so easy. But if you're thinking financing, how do you know if you can get a mortgage? You need to figure it out that first. In order to do that, you need to calculate your DTI, debt to income ratio, first. If it is more than 50%, I suggest you to wait until either you increase your income or pay off your debts. So, lenders usually calculate debt to income ratio by dividing your monthly debt obligations by your pre-tax or gross income. And most lenders look for a ratio 36% or less. Although there are exceptions with the ratio can be higher, but still look at the 36 actually. How do you calculate your DTI? Well, there are two types of DTI, back-end ratio and front-end ratio. But the back-end ratio is calculated by adding together all of your monthly debt payments and dividing the sum of your monthly income, gross income again. Let's say your monthly income payment is $5,000. If you're getting $60,000 per year, when you divide it 12, $5,000 per month, and you have total monthly income that is $2,000. So your back-end ratio is 40%, which is 2,000 divided by 5,000. Generally, lenders like to see back-end ratio that doesn't exceed 36%. However, some lenders make exceptions if you have a good credit score. Like the back-end ratio, the front-end ratio is another debt to income comparison used by mortgage underwriters. The only difference between front and back, front ratio only considers the mortgage payment divided your monthly income. The mortgage payment include your insurance, your tax amount and mortgage amount. So let's assume you have still $5,000 monthly income and this time your mortgage payment whole total is $1,200. When you divide $1,200 divided by 5,000, it is 24%. So lender use the front end ratio in conjunction with the back end ratio to determine how much they can lend for you. So some people, lenders usually prefer 28% for front end ratio, but some for the FHA loans it is 31%. So if you pass this step, which is the most important step, you're gonna go to next step, which is the finding a good realtor and looking for a house. So find a good realtor who is trustworthy, local expert realtor to help you get the best deal and avoid problems along the way. Also, I want to tell you that if you are using Zillow or Trulia or any other website other than Har.com, Har.com doesn't have any relationship with those. They got the data, of course, but sometimes they got the wrong data or old data. So please, if you want to get the real data, just go to Har.com and check from there too. Sometimes my buyers send me the houses from Zillow, But when I check har.com, I don't see. That means those houses are not listed by the any realtors. So the another thing is once you like the house, we're gonna submit the offer with your pre-approval letter, actually, that given by lender. After negotiating with the seller, we're gonna once the sales price is set and both sides agree, you sign and the seller sign, and the contract becomes executed contract and binding contract. On the contract, I want to tell you there are two things you need to look. First is option earnest money. The second one is option fee money. Earnest money, you can think like a deposit. It's gonna give you credit. It's gonna giving you credit on the closing, and we're gonna put this money to the title company. But option fee money usually goes to seller. It will credit it you again on the closing, that amount of money. And what we're doing with that money, actually, we're just getting some days from the seller to look and to inspect his homes. For the earnest money, usually it's a 1% of the sales price, and it goes to the title company. For option fee money in this area, usually, let's say $200, but it depends on based on the house's square feet, based on the sales price. So for $200, we can get 7 to 10 days from the seller. During that time, you can cancel your contract anytime without giving any reason. Or when you get the inspection report, and when what you see over there, and you still don't feel this house is right for you, you can still change your mind and get your earnest money back. But you cannot get your option fee money or inspector money. And our next step is, another big step is inspection. Once we call the inspector, let's say inspector finds some cosmetic things like doors not working, or microwave doesn't work, something like a fixable on during that time. We request those things to the seller. Usually seller says, okay, I'll do it. If they say they'll do it, they need to provide us a receipt along with that. If not, they usually said, okay, I'm not gonna do anything for you, but I'm gonna give you credit. For all of these things, I'm gonna give you 500 or 1,000 based on the things that we requested, actually. And usually buyer and seller had an agreement on that step. But let's say it's a big thing happens, like foundation problem, and it's a big problem, like $30,000 it's gonna cost. What's gonna happen? Like I said, you can change your mind and you can say, well, I'm not gonna get in trouble. I just wanna buy the house with no problem or list problems. Let's forget about it. Or we can still request it from seller, those amount of money, or can you fix this problem? Usually, if it's a big thing, they don't want to do it. They don't want you that much credit, and the deal is off. So, but what these things is not very often happen to me. So usually cosmetic problem happens, and it should be fixable, easy way, or seller gives you credit, like I said. So once we pass this period, we're just gonna go to the next one, which is closing. We're gonna go to closing together, and you're gonna get clean title from the title company, and you're gonna sign all the paperwork for your loan paper if you have it. If not, your deed papers that's gonna be under your name after that day. So hopefully we're gonna get your house with this smooth transaction. Today, that's it for today. So please subscribe my channel, and see you next week for my next video. Bye bye.